What's up, guys? Welcome back. Itadori Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen from the opening of Shibuya. Shibuya, I hope I'm saying it right. The Shibuya Incident, Season 2. Let's go landscape page, pencil eraser, hit pause if I go too fast, or speed it up in the settings if I go too slow. Lots of options. Center point of my page is about here. He's in 3/4 pose. So we'll come up over to the left, face kind of over here, not like centered. Right, we got his back sort of coming down this way. So we get his nose in because we're kind of nearly in profile, right? So we'll go center up over to the left, right? And we start with this sort of letter L sort of shape, right? So it curves out this way and then kind of spikes back in the tip of his nose. So it's like a letter L. His nostril then is just here, small little dot type nostril. So at the top of his nose, we're going to turn this into like a Z sort of shape. So this is L, but we'll go Z kind of this way. Not straight out here, more sort of a curved top to it. Right. So this is his brow, right? So like the top of the nose where his forehead starts. So his eye will be just like across in this sort of section here, right? So you go Jujutsu Kaisen style, diagonal line there first, and then you bring the top eyelid across there. It's a very sort of square shape, right? And this can be thicker because it's the top eyelid line, kind of spiky on the ends. So the bottom eyelid line just sort of goes down and around here, like so. And then the iris and the pupil, so he's like looking back over his shoulder. So we just got a circle. Just there. And his pupil just in the center. Then we have that sort of V thing that's on his cheek. The Sukuna sort of marks. So you got a shape like that, and then a place to color. So you just go around the outside again because it's kind of like a red color. Then we have a couple of eyelid lines. So like one coming across here, and then his eyebrow just on the top. And we'll add another space on top, and you want it to be skinnier at the back. And then a nose line, sort of eyelid line there. It's like the bridge of his nose, you know, as it connects to the eyebrow. So what we can see of the other eye, it's just on the inside of this nose section, right? So we got like his eyelash sticking out here. Kind of just wavy sort of line with a spike on the end. And then his eyeball drawn in, curving down that way. And then he's looking this direction, right? So you got like a circle curving around there, and then the pupil somewhere just in the middle. Might see a little bit of skin just on the bottom for the bottom eyelash. And then his forehead goes up and around his eyebrow, which will just be across in this one. So you just draw in, goes around his forehead so we can't see the end of it. Just goes around there. And then maybe a little eyelid line just on top. The forehead might go up a little bit further, just up there. Right, so the shape for his face, so we got his cheek just like curving out. So imagine his cheek goes behind his nose and curves out here, right? And then it comes down for his chin, and it'll disappear underneath his collar there. His mouth then, just a sort of downturned kind of serious mouth like that. And then the bottom lip just there. His collar then comes across the chin. Big red sort of hoodie type collar. Goes real long back here. And then his jaw will come out like just past the eye, say here at this level. Say where his eye is here. If you just come over and go down, that'll be where his jaw comes out. Or like you can imagine it coming around the chin, just out there. And then up like so. So your jaw connects just with your ear, right? So your earlobe is like, just starts here, okay? And then you have a sideburn, normally, just on top, right? So like his is square, sort of shaved head, right? Some lines there. And then the ear will come out from the sideburn there and connect with the earlobe. Then we got some ear lines inside. Little things like this. Lots of different ways of doing that now. And then his hair. So lots of hair spikes, fringes, little spikes like this, right? Going around his forehead. Doo-doo. Okay. And then the side of his head is shaved, but the top isn't, right? So this goes like this way. Just touches his ear there, and one comes out from behind the ear. Okay. Like so. And then the back of his head seems to like stick out real far, like here. And then curves around for his neck here like that. And you could have like his hairline just at the back here, with some hatching just at the bottom. And then more hair spikes just sticking out this way. Just like little spikes and shark fins going the whole way around his head. Remind me of shark fins anyway. A few more. Like that. And then like a couple like on his head, just like here, just for texture. Could have like a jaw muscle line there, some neck muscles. Right, so special. So this curves around the front. And we got like some fold lines and stuff just coming across here. And then the back of this hood just sort of bumps down, hangs over his shoulder, like so. And then his back curves out here, down, and then the shoulder, the front there. And then it's got his shoulder here and his arm that way. Maybe like some fold lines. You can't see them, but you should have some maybe. Like that. And that's it. That's Itadori from Season 2 Jujutsu Kaisen. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.